Sports Zone. Sports Zone. The show that will change the way you watch sports. It's time to enter the zone. Yep, here we go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Go.
Welcome back to The Zone, and I'm Brandon Graham, and this is a fun/special episode of The Zone. I started this show with the desire to be able to interview some of the best personalities, athletes, coaches, and everything in the sports world. But I think the best part about having your own show is you get to talk to people who influence you personally. And Coach Lang from South Florida, Broward County, coached in Dade as well, but you're one of those people, and I still don't know how I got you in here. I'm going to be honest with you, but Coach Lang, it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's all of those words to have you here and be able to speak to you. And this isn't my only time. You know, I'll text you and I'll call you at any time for questions, but Coach, it's a privilege to have you here in the Zone, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, I'm representing countless football players and students that you've had over your 29 years of coaching and 40 years of teaching that you've influenced at some point. And I'll get into, there's a lot of things I want to ask you, but can you talk about what got you first into coaching? What got you into that world?
Well, basically, I was passionate about math, and when I went to college, didn't know what I wanted to do as far as a career. So I knew I was passionate about math since elementary school. And so what happened was I just decided to try math education out. And I majored in math, and I said if I was to do that, then I could always go teach at a high school and coach football. So I think I put the two and two together, that I thought about other careers, but I said, you know what, why don't I just teach? I love math, and why don't I coach? Because I still love them, because I went to college on a football scholarship. So I put the two together, and here I am 40 years later. So, it was interesting, but I was very passionate about football, very passionate about math, and if you put the two together, you got, math education and a coach, so.
I think that's the best, one of the things I think is so incredible. I talk to so many people, and when they bring you up, it's not just football. I talked to a lot of football players, obviously played at Hollywood Hills, the Miramars, but so many people just say, is Coach Lang still, he was my favorite math teacher. And what is it like for you that so many people are influenced by you, not just as a football coach, but still talk about you as their favorite teacher?
It's awesome to know that I've made an impact on the young men and women that I've been able to teach and coach. It was just an honor that God has called me to do this. And I really believe that it was a calling of my life to do both, how things worked out. So it's an honor, and I'm humbled by it. I'll never get the big head because, I'm not saying I'm the best math teacher and coach out there in the United States, but I just put forth a lot of effort and give them my best and see what happens. So,
what kept you coming back for 29 years of coaching every year on that sideline and doing it every week?
Just the influence I wanted to have on these young men. I decided to leave private school in 1991, and Hollywood Hills is the first public school I coached at. And I just felt a calling that I needed to be in the public school. So and I enjoy influencing young people, especially young men. And I've always had a passion, like I said, for football, and it's been an honor to last that many years, and and I always joke around that if Mike Tomlin and Pittsburgh Steelers call me, I'm on the next plane.
That's a good hire, Mike. I'll tell you that right now. And I was obvious. I'm a proud Spartan. I'm a proud Hollywood Hills graduate, coach there myself. What's special, and what is special about Hollywood Hills to you? What makes that place special?
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble saying this. I'm a graduate from Miramar High School. It's my alma mater. But it's something about Hollywood Hills. Because as you probably already know, I left twice. I left one time to be the head coach at Miramar, where I graduated from. I left a second time to be the head coach at Chaminade. But I always made my way back to Hollywood Hills. It's just, I don't know, it's something special about Hollywood Hills. I won Teacher of the Year twice there.
It is.
So that was, I mean, that was awesome. So I just feel like Hollywood Hills was home.
Right.
And I just felt like there's no place like home, so.
And we're going to talk about that because we're talking about influencing at Hollywood Hills. And JJ, if we can roll that first clip, if you don't mind, I want you to look at something and listen to this, Coach. And we're going to talk about what your thoughts.
But Coach Lang, I'll start with Coach Lang. Yeah,
Coach Lang, one that we both can say that answer
motivation,
about.
discipline, and heart.
There it is.
Boom,
both of us can
time.
say the same answer.
Yeah.
Coach Lang, there we go. Best advice a coach ever gave you?
Play your game. Keep getting after it and discipline. I think motivation, discipline, and heart is always something that stuck with me, and I think that came from you know the saying. Motivation, discipline, and heart.
Most memorable coach. So, Jabal Sheard. He played at Pitt. He was a second-round draft pick. He won the Super Bowl. He's probably been around some of the best coaches that the world knows. I asked him in that seat on this show who was most memorable coach, and there was no hesitation. It was Coach Lang. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot that, where he's been, that he thinks so highly of me, that I've had the impact on his life. And like I said, I feel that's my calling, to help these young men. And I'm glad I was able to influence Jabal and the other hundreds or thousands I've been able to influence over the years. So it's an honor. It's an honor.
And like I said, we had Jabal in here, and I always wanted to get you in this seat, but it was a great thing to be able to hear him. And, I had some of the others, and I as soon as that post went up, I kid you not, it blew up because it was Coach Lang this, Coach Lang that, and, great job talking about Coach Lang. And I think just the appreciation that, to me, comes from people speaking of you is one thing that hits me. And, JJ, if you can play the second clip, if you don't mind. I got one more, Coach, that I want you to look at and get your thoughts on. Coach.
Intimidated. Same guy. Same guy.
Yeah, that's fair. Coach Lang is winning, right? So you're the most intimidating and the most memorable now.
Oh, boy.
So and that was, again, no hesitation, as you saw.
Yeah.
But I think, to talk about that a little bit, you somehow found a way to toe this line of being a person who demanded the best, but also every single person who played for you, coached with you, seemed to know how much you cared. How important was that to you, and how did you find a way to do that, Coach?
It's extremely important. You need to have discipline, and I've always said that there's no discipline, then you can't teach, you can't coach, you can't win. So there has to be discipline. And maybe the way I come across, I mean, I need discipline, and because I'm gonna try to make you the best you can possibly be. Without discipline, that won't happen. So, I don't go out there to put fear in the kid's heart, but I demand discipline. Mm-hmm. And if we don't get that, then there are some consequences. You got your tea parties and you got your other things. So
tea parties.
Yeah.
I got tea parties from Coach Lang on Sports Zone. My life's good now.
Got to have your tea parties. You got to get that discipline.
All right. I got 3 words that we're going to talk about. Motivation, discipline, heart. He said it. I said it. I still have hats that say it. Those are words that obviously, if you were around Hollywood Hills, you were around Coach Lang, I'm sure at any time you know those words. Where do they come from, and why are they important?
Well, the kids need to, first of all, you're not out there putting in 100% if you're not motivated. What's your motivation? My motivation for playing football was I needed a scholarship. My dad died when I was 9 years old. 7 sisters, no brothers. We didn't have much financially, didn't have much at all. And I knew my only avenue to get to college would be a scholarship. So that was my motivation. So I try to instill in these players that you need to have some kind of motivation. Don't come out here running these 1000s every Monday and putting all the work in a weight room. You need to have some kind of what's your motivation? You need to motivate, because if you aren't motivated, you're not going to stick it out. And why be here if you don't want something out of this? So you got to have motivation to do what we're going to put you through. Secondly, discipline. Without discipline, we can't win, especially fourth quarter. You know, fourth quarter comes down to discipline. You put up those 4 fours. If you're not disciplined, you can't win the fourth quarter. We've won quite a few games in the fourth quarter. So my thing is you have to be disciplined. Because without discipline, you're going to have penalties. You're going to beat yourself, and it's not going to work for you. Now, heart. You got your St. Thomas's. You got your Carol Cities, what have you. You can't go out there and play scared. Yeah. You can't have fear. You respect your opponent, but you don't fear your opponent. So that's where the heart comes from. You can't go out there and play scared.
Even now, you know, it still hits me hearing it, and I can tell it still is something that is powerful to you. Did you ever, when you decided motivation, discipline, and heart was something, did you ever think it was going to be something that was not only going to be something that helped win football games, but help make fathers, help make people who are now influencing brothers and young lives? Did you ever think it'll be something 29 years later that has done this?
Not really. I don't know if you, Aaron Feist was one of my assistant coaches at Stoneman Douglas, and I went to his funeral, and I was the head coach at Stoneman Douglas for 3 years. And I remember going to this funeral, and all the players that played for me, the first thing, they were in line, because I got there a little bit later. They were in line, you know, waiting to be seated at the church. Oh, I'm sorry. Aaron Feist was the coach that played me at Douglas, who was killed in the tragedy at Stoneman Douglas. So we went to his funeral, and the first thing those kids said to me was motivation, discipline, heart. It wasn't, hi, Coach Lang. It was good. It was the first thing they said was motivation, heart, and that was like, that really stuck with me. That these kids, I mean, years later, they still remember that, and still hearing the kids say it today, it means a lot. And that I think it was gonna mean that much to them. No, I did not. I was just coming from the heart, and no, did not know it's gonna be like this. And I'm glad that it's stuck with them, and they're using it, you know, and helping them in life.
We got a couple of things to finish this show, but what has it meant for you, and what does family mean to you? And I personally know how important family is to you, because it's a part of everything you do, and it's a part of everything you teach and coach. But how important has family been to you in your life?
Family's extremely important. You know, we say God is first, and family is second. And then you got your football, you got your career, but, you know, family is always the number two. And family comes before football and teaching and everything else. So family is really important to me. You know, my wife and my daughters, you know, I love them to death. And I think they love me as well.
They do.
But
they do.
Yeah, family means a lot to me.
I could not have a show and make sure and your wife not come up. I'm not that crazy. I'm smart enough to know, Coach. We had to make sure we thanked your wife. And I think, you know, we definitely obviously going to have you another show here, Coach. But you want to finish with what we call the hot zone. A little fun. We get to ask you some fun questions, Coach.
Okay.
Fun for me. I don't know about you so much, but they're fun for me, Coach. All right? All right. Have you ever forgotten what down it was when you were calling a play? Be honest. Ever forgotten the down? You're not coaching anymore, so we can be honest.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I forgot. No, I don't think so.
All right. That's impressive. Okay. Toughest player you ever coached?
The toughest player I ever coached. Man, that's tough.
You coached some good ones.
Oh,
he was
man.
one.
He was one of them. Yes, he was.
You've had a Ronnie St. Fleur thrown in there,
yes,
too.
I had a Ronnie St. Fleur.
You had a BJ thrown in there. You've had a few.
Now, if you go by size, I had some small running backs that would just lay linebackers out when they ran the lead. I had little Joey at Hollywood Hills.
Oh, gosh, I forgot. Little Joey.
I had a little running back at Stoneman Douglas. You know, Joey, pound for pound, I like Joey.
Joey Wachensky?
Yeah, Joey would lay linebackers on their back. He would pancake linebackers. And he was probably 5'4", maybe 140, sweating, soaking wet.
With bricks in his pockets?
Oh, yes.
I think that's probably right.
He was tough as nails.
Okay, we're going with Joey with that one. Okay, Coach. I know the answer to this question. I'm asking anyway.
Uh-oh.
Wing T versus spread offense. Which do we like better?
Wing T.
Yeah, I just had
Wing
to give
T.
you one. I had to give you one, Coach. What do you like calling more, offense or defense?
Offense.
That's okay.
Can I add this? The person that persuaded me to go spread was this man right here.
I want everybody to have heard that right there.
I would have gone 29 years of wing T.
He would have gone 29 years, and I would have been coaching receivers in a wing T offense. I'm taking credit for what you just said.
Oh, yes.
Favorite team you ever coached? And you had some good ones, and some people are going to be very upset with this answer. And you can give two if necessary. Favorite team you ever coached?
It was probably 2005 Hollywood Hills.
Why is that?
Because we had a group of young men that I felt could have gone all the way. They were disciplined. They put that work in, and it was hard. I mean, we took St. Thomas down to what? It was 29-25 or something like that. 24-25. They beat us on that 4th and 1, I think it was. But we wanted that rematch, and it didn't happen, unfortunately. But that 05 team was pretty special. I mean, it's saying a lot because you're talking about 29 years of coaching.
Yeah.
But that 05 team, 2005, that was a pretty special team.
I thought that might be your answer, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
05 Hills. I like it. Toughest team you coached against?
Toughest team.
It's another good one. You got 29 years of some good teams. You coached in Dade County, you coached in Broward County.
Probably Carroll City.
Okay.
Carroll City when I was at Miramar.
Were those Coach Lamb years?
Coach Lamb was tight end for Carroll City.
and small for that group.
Yeah, that was the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Okay.
3rd round of playoffs. That Carroll City team was pretty. They won the state that year. Yeah, that was 3rd round of playoffs. That was a pretty tough team.
Lewis Lamb, Carroll City, as he was at tight end years. Okay.
Yeah.
2 more, and I'll let you off the hot seat. Toughest environment that you ever coached a game? Toughest environment, just crazy, intense.
Toughest environment from the fans, from parents.
Everything.
Toughest environment would have to be probably Miramar. Probably Miramar. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds right. All right. Last question. Is there anything that gets Coach Lang back on the sideline with a headset and a call sheet?
Mike Tomlin calling me from Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes.
I can see that being a good reason.
Yes.
So our production manager, Alex Suarez, this is a good one. Call Mike Tomlin. He's a Steeler guy. So, Coach, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you've done. And we're going to get you back in here because, anytime I can have you in here and learn and just be influenced, and you've done so much for so many people, especially here in Broward and public schools, has just been huge. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to, all of us who played or coached with you, be able to truly, honestly say all of the things we appreciate, but, we're going to try and we're going to start. Make sure you know those things. So I appreciate you joining us.
Appreciate for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure this is one of the shows we're going to have Coach Lang. So you definitely want to subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out our Instagram and all our social media because we're going to have motivation, discipline, heart Coach Lang back here in the zone again. Thanks for watching.